We all recognize when we see brothers who have mommy issues, but what's harder to recognize is when we come across brothers who have daddy issues. We're gonna talk about it next on this episode of Brother to Brother. Black business, assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Yeah. Yeah. Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Look. Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Smack out to racks on handmade and rags. Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. That's everybody from sports to college class to rap. What it is, what it was, DFWI Radio found it is I once again into the ANN man. And I'm here with my main man, Mr. T. Jones. Mr. T. Jones, brother. Man, no matter how many times I hear that intro, boy, it just jams to me, man. How you been, my brother?
I'm been good, and when I'm editing, I find myself listening to the whole damn record. I be like, get back to work, and the David Banner record. It's funny how both those records didn't get any burn from the labels though. But those some powerful records right there. Though,
yes, sir, bro. Every time I hear that intro.
Yeah, I saw you over there. I said, he over there jigging like you ain't never heard the record.
Man, I love that
That's
song.
sweet.
But anyways, yeah, man, it's been another 2 weeks. We here again. How was your last 2 weeks been, sir?
Last 2 weeks been actually pretty good though. Weather been crazy,
man.
And I'm talking. I'm the type. I'm never cold. I was cold. I was cold.
Well, when you look out and you see 19, 17, any team.
Yeah, it's different. It's different. You're talking about the cabinets open with the water dripping. Like it was that cold.
Yep.
So yeah, it's been an interesting last 2 weeks. A lot has transpired. Can't wait to hear your take on some of this. But yeah, it's been cool.
Yeah, well, we got a new president, man. That happened in the past 2 weeks. So there's that.
And it's moving. It's moving. Yeah. It's already moving. You're already feeling the effects of it.
Yeah.
So, hey, but I do have something. I do have a positive point to make, and I couldn't wait to the show. The new child support law he's trying to pass.
Lay it on me, brother. I haven't even heard nothing.
Here's what he's saying, and a lot of people are loving Trump for this one. The law says that if the woman puts the man on child support, she can't claim taxes on him. The father gets to.
Oh hell! Can we retro add that shit?
It's a lot of baby mamas mad. But think about it. It kind of balances it out. You get paid child support. I get to follow them on the taxes.
I've been complaining about that for God knows how long, brother.
Hey, he said that it's only right. He said it kind of balances everything out. What do you think about that?
I'm all for it. I'm even for it. Hey, even if you say your mama and the daddy have to split it, give daddy something. You dig me?
Because he's pouring into the kid.
Yeah.
Every single month, which he's supposed to. But when it comes to file taxes, you get to file them and keep them. So now the law states that if you put him on child support, he gets to file it and keep the tax return for himself.
With that,
that's wild, huh? I mean, but how long do we feel like that's been overdue?
Well, the whole child support conversation is overdue. Like that whole system need to be revamped. We done talked about that plenty of time.
For sure.
But anyways, my past 2 weeks, man, they've been interesting as well. I mean, first off, man, I was riding on my bike going to pick something up, and I seen a dude sprawled out over the concrete, his leg turned backwards the other way, and the bike pieces everywhere. That immediately prompted me to say, well, this will be the last time. This will be the last time I ride on this for a while.
What was this?
Man, this was sometime this past week. Like, I want to say Wednesday of last week, actually. Yeah, I saw that, and it messed me up because he got hit in a place that I frequent, like the Walmart over there on Barton.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Walmart and Great Southwest. It looked like he was turning into there, and somebody just hit him, and I ain't see a car in sight.
That's a busy intersection too.
I ain't see a car in sight, so I'm thinking somebody hit him and ran.
Or you check if he was alive or no?
Man, he was laid out on the concrete and he wasn't moving, and his leg was bent the other way. So I ain't
no
know.
police, no nothing, just happened.
Well, yeah, you saw all the police
Okay,
and stuff coming towards him, but yeah, man, that was enough for me to say, yeah, I'm with this bike.
Was it day or night?
It was nighttime.
Yeah.
Nighttime. I was actually going to work out. That's where I was going. I was going to work out, and I saw that. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go back and get me a beer. I am not gonna work out today. That's how much it
part of
messed me
working
up.
out is the mental aspect of it. And you saw something that kind of made you say, you know what? I'm not feeling it.
Not tonight.
That's crazy.
And then I'm one of them people who take like signs into account. So on my way, before I saw that, there's a corner around my house, like that you have to go around where it's a short corner. And they turned short and they blowing the horn at me because they turned short. You on my side of the road, but you blowing the horn at me. So that was the first thing. I was like, that was weird.
And then you saw that second
and
thing.
then I saw him sprawled out on the concrete. I was like, yeah, that's enough.
No
for me.
Final Destination.
Yeah,
Black Mirror.
man.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you get those signs and you make norm.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, you know what? Let me go and just take it back to the crib.
Yep.
That's cool right there, though, man.
I hadn't been talking to my witch for a couple of weeks, so like she wasn't there to tell me if she felt anything or nothing like that. That's another weird situation. I kind of been missing her this week.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but yeah, that was. I guess I can chalk it up to I've been ghosted for the first time. I've never experienced that before.
How does it feel to be normal?
I've never experienced that before. Like I called her, she didn't answer. Normally she'll call me back, and I ain't finna call.
But what kills me is you said it's been a few weeks. That's crazy.
Yeah, man. So I don't know what happened there.
In your late 30s and you got your first ghost.
Hey, it is what it
happens
is.
though, you know.
It is.
You know what's funny? I'm interested to see if and when she does call back, what was that about? I'm gonna be like, D, what was that about? But I don't know. Sometimes I think when people do that, the longer they let it go on, the more awkward it becomes. And then some people are like, you know what? I don't even know how to start it, so I'm just gonna let it go.
And see, we both Pisces, Scorpio. We both stubborn as hell. Like, yeah, neither one of us gonna make the first move unless something dramatic happen. You know what I'm saying? So, what else happened in these past 2 weeks? Of course, I've been sending you these messages of me still getting hit up, of course. So that hasn't changed. And yeah, man, that's pretty much it. We back here again.
Yeah.
So, and making his grand entrance as
usual.
As always.
As always. What it's looking like, man. Look at it, man. You know what's funny about this guy? It's like he's the star. Man. He's Shay Shay. we get warmed up for him.
Hey, so look, T Jones, today my birthday.
Don't try to.
Yeah, man. That's why I was late today.
So was it birthday 2 weeks ago?
Nah, man. Okay. I said that's why I was late today.
Today.
What's up, man? My brothers.
Man, what's going on with you?
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna enlighten you real quick. I'm gonna run it back because we were talking about the new president in office, and I said something to D that I knew he didn't know, or I assumed he didn't know. Did you hear about one of the laws that Trump is bringing in that benefits us?
Yeah, man. I was waiting on y'all to acknowledge this.
So you know about the child support?
I'm the only one that knows about it.
It been going viral, man.
See, I ain't been online.
Really?
I ain't been online.
They damn near got that on billboards now, man.
You know what's crazy is I remember years ago thinking that I would be like, if I'm paying all this child support, why can't I at least file for it? And you know, it's just those thoughts that you have to kind of balance out the playing field.
Right.
And then when I saw it, somebody said, bro, you was talking about, I said, bro, years ago. I'm talking about more than 15, 20 years ago. I was thinking that. What you think about that?
Man, I think it's fair. You know, y'all already know, like I say every show, man, I try to be on both sides as much of a mediator as I can, man. But, you know, man, you do have some women that take advantage of those type of things, man. You know, you got some good guys working hard, working 2 jobs, double shifts, just to, you
Some of
know.
them, some of them. I got a friend of mine right now that says, "Okay, now I'm about to start the child support part of the shit."
Yeah.
I'm like, damn.
Man, I got an uncle, man. This man worked little under the table jobs for the longest, T. Jones, just so he could have some money for himself to pay his bills, man. You know,
don't care.
yeah.
They don't care.
And man, like I say, man, it's fair. It may not be fair to
Man,
everybody,
how many
but
baby
it's
mamas
fair.
out there? It's hot right now.
Oh man, how many baby mamas gonna be doing the same thing baby daddies was doing and just asking for a little 500 here,
Because you know what though? If you think about it,
1,000 there. Let me get a man.
Them tax checks look different
when you
without their
file,
kids.
let's say you got 3 kids,
Shit.
woman, right? When you pay child support as it's coming in,
Mm-hmm.
that looks a little different than when you get it in one chunk on a check.
Right,
And she gonna know you're gonna get a nice chunk
right.
if you got 3 kids with her and she not getting that.
And so, perfect question to ask both of y'all niggas, man. Exactly how does it go? So how does it work, man?
As far as what?
As far as like, so if you on child support, it doesn't start this year, right? That'll be next year.
You gotta pass it first. That's not gonna kick in till if he passes it this year. I'm sure it'll probably kick in for maybe next year, whatever. But for him to, I mean, it's a 4-year term, so it's going
right.
Regardless of it, I'm looking at more of next year that kicking in. So
You're gonna have to pass it before the midterms because he might lose one of the what they call it, either the Congress or the Senate.
Yeah.
You know, right now all of them is red. Yeah. The president, the Congress, and the Senate are all red right now. The House, Senate, all of them.
So whatever he says is
pretty much going to
pass
pass.
Right now.
Of course.
So what he's going to do is say, okay, let's put this on the table and let's get it done. So if that's something that's a priority like he says it is, it's good.
Midterms is in 2 years. So
that's nuts, man.
You're not going to wait 2 years for that because there are a lot of people right now that are like, thank you.
Yeah.
Because they're like, man, all the money I put out and I'm scraping by, I can get that back. You know what I'm saying? And then there's a lot of women right now that's like, okay, well, I'm going to go all out this year because this is it.
Man.
Child tax credits and them earned income credits, boys say they make a lot of difference in that damn tax return.
Business too.
It makes a lot of difference, baby. So when you lose one kid, you looking at losing around $4,000 to $5,000 for one kid.
No lie.
You dig me?
But you do know that it's like they changed the rules back in the day. Now it's like the first kid he's 5, the second one is like maybe 3, and the third one is like 15.
Yeah.
They because what was going on. You got certain families that had like 8, 9 kids.
Right.
They clocked 21 racks on it. So they had to say, okay, here's what we're gonna do. That's what you want to do. Okay, we're gonna have 5,000, and everything under that drops.
Wow.
No, I mean something had to give because you got some people that got literally 7, 8 kids. They getting $28,000 tax return.
Damn.
So now it's like, let's say you got 3. First one, the old 5,000. Next one's like maybe 35, and the next one maybe like 15. So it drops. It ain't that same like it used to be.
Right.
Back in the day, it used
It
to
was
be.
one. For each
5,
kid you
5,
get.
you got 15 racks.
Say, man, I can't explain how much me and my sister used to look forward to income tax.
Y'all must have a mama that really took care of y'all.
Yeah, straight up.
That even is.
At one point in time, man, mama started giving us our own little money. Like, here, you get 800. She give my sister a little bit of bread. I don't know how much she was. I wasn't concerned with that. Yeah, man, I'm doing my thing in the 8th grade.
So yeah, I just wanted to put that out there. What you thought about that? And of course, I would say 99, probably 0.9% of all men are going to approve of that. So that's that.
I can dig it. So,
straight up.
Trump really was going with that one too.
So, before we jump into the subject for tonight, how was your last 2 weeks, bro? We just recapped ours. How was yours?
Man, it was blessed, man. I'm not sure if last time we was here, did I tell y'all about us going to Vegas, man? I took my son to Vegas, man, for his birthday. Yeah, man. I took him to Vegas for his 10th birthday. We kicked it, man. I took my baby mama with us. You know, we had a cordial, beautiful little outing, man. You know, I had my sister and my nephew. So like, man, it was a blessing, man. You know, just to be able to do that. Straight up to Jones, like, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
These days, man, because you know we talk about everything is expensive.
Everything, man.
Outside. Did y'all do old Vegas or new Vegas?
We did old Vegas. I want to say we stayed at the Circus.
Okay.
Yeah, man, we was right there with Sammy Davis Jr. Really, man, you know, it was just a dope time because it was around Christmas time.
And you with your family, though.
With my
That's
family.
The most important thing.
They had like the national rodeo, like I guess like the Super Bowl for rodeo down there. So everywhere you look, it was cowboys, cowgirls.
Cool.
Then they had the NBA playing tournament or the championship little in-season tournament.
The show was OKC and I think Milwaukee.
Man, so it was a vibe, man. Like I say, man, I was thankful for that, man. My kids, T. Jones, I got one. That's it. I'm retired. Yeah, man.
Hurry up because my kid.
That matters nowadays, man. That matters. Yeah, for real.
Looks like somebody had a conversation.
Yeah, man.
All right, D, so what we got, man? What we got on
So
the table,
the
man?
last 2 weeks in the last show at the end of it, we came across a little subject at hand. You know, we ran across it on accident, really. And we was talking about grown men who have daddy issues, right? And so after I got home and I got to thinking about it, I'm like, you know what? I'm pretty sure every man walking this planet has a certain issue with his father, but it's just the level of which, you know, and what that is. And then I even got to thinking about like households that had the father in the house that still turned out bad because society has this way of telling us that the father in the house makes all the difference. And I agree to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Because there's a difference in being present and being there.
But there's also a difference in a daddy and a father.
Right.
True indeed.
Right.
True
and
indeed.
you could have a daddy that's in the house that beat the hell out your mama or, you know, beat the hell out of you.
Yeah.
Or so it's not always the daddy just being in the house makes all the difference.
They paint the picture of if the father's there, you're good. But he just made a good point. And I witnessed this with my friend. His dad beat the mom, but not them.
Mm-hmm.
It's 3 brothers. The one that was my friend, he in turn was beating his old ladies.
Damn.
He saw that growing up. The other 2, they despised it. Because, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It affects people differently. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's not a good example of a daddy and father being in the house because that's the breadwinner, this and the third. And usually, especially when you got boys, they lead. How they lead is how we look up to them.
Yeah.
As
it's your first superhero.
Any kid is like, that's my
superhero.
Yeah, you look up to him as your superhero. And same thing with women. When I tell my female friends, hey, you got daughters, you got to be careful how you move.
Yeah, real talk.
Everything that you do. So, like Dee said, having a father figure in the household isn't just a guarantee everything is good.
True indeed.
Because these kids, especially young boys, we look up and we mimic and we mock. That's how you get in trouble trying beer and certain things, cigarettes and whatever. You know, you on the cool trying these little things because you see your daddy do it. So that's a real good point.
So I want to start it off with, how was your relationship with your father growing up? Like, what was y'all relationship?
I didn't grow up with my father though. My mom pretty much was my dad and my mom.
So you didn't know him at all?
I knew him. Yeah, I went and visited him this and the third, but I didn't know him like I thought I knew him. Once I took a trip to California. I took a trip to California when I was 14. So it was like a real big gap. I'm nervous, you know. I'm like,
are your folks from Cali, T. Jones?
No, my dad, mom came from New York.
Okay.
He moved from New York to LA. He came to Texas.
Okay.
So when I went to go see him, I'm around 14 years old. I'm excited, but I'm nervous. You know what I'm saying? And that was a lot of time. I mean, I'm talking probably, man, I can't even know how many years. More than 10 plus years. And when I get there, what I expected and what I got, it wasn't too far-fetched. You know what I'm saying? But there were things I didn't know about him that, you know, my sister, she's sitting there looking at me like,
yeah.
you love him. He's your hero. Ooh, ooh. And she didn't want to ruin my experience, so she spared me.
That shit is deep, man.
She spared me until I got married. And she was like, Dad's coming down. I'm just going to give you some things to not do or, whatever. And I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And she gave me this list of things to do to make it pleasant while he's here. First thing was, don't allow that. I'm like, why? Don't do it. What do? The night before the wedding, we have a party. And it's laid out, everything you could. It was a nightmare, bro. Imagine being 27, 28 years old, not really knowing these things about this man, because you saw him, back, it was good.
Yeah, back then.
It was a nightmare, bro. And she was like, I never really wanted to tell you, you know what I'm saying? I didn't want to ruin your experience from the last time. But even then, all these things had been going on. And it wasn't right for you to be coming to LA, seeing him, and I'm telling you all this. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. She said, you're grown now, so I can tell you. And my mom was wrong with what she had heard, and my other sister and my other had to go through with what was going on with him. Mm. And it made me relieved that I didn't have to grow up with that. Mm. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. Yeah. I was like, wow. Like, it's kind of sad you said you dodged a bullet with your biological, but, and my mom never badmouthed him. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? She never talked down on him.
That's what a good woman does.
Yeah, she never badmouthed him. You know what I'm saying? So I had no clue. I found out on my own. Straight up. In living color. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. And to this day right now, it has affected how I deal with him. Mm. I don't like not answering the phone, not knowing if you sober or not. Mm. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I had asked him at one point, we had gotten into it over the phone, and I said, man, look, I'm only asking you one thing. And I wasn't talking down to him or nothing, but he took it that way. Right. I was just like, if you ever pick the phone up to give me a call, just make sure you're sober. That's all I'm asking. Yeah. And he went off.
It's too much to ask.
He went off, And those kind of parents teach you, or should teach you, how to be a better parent to your own. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Because I don't think you understand how much you can crush your kids. True. When you talk to them like that. You see what I'm saying? Church. Sometimes that damage is, it's you can't undo that. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I think our thing in this room is we always want our kids to respect us but not fear us. Right. And there's a fine line. And that was the thing with him. I'm like, okay, well, now you've taught me how to deal with you. And this is how I will deal with you. And in turn, this is how my kids will deal with you. Mm-hmm. To make sure that you ain't on one day and you say some dumb shit to them. Right. Because I don't want them to ever look at you in the light that I know. Yeah. And that's how I deal with it. And it's cool. He got accustomed to it. And he was like, you know what, you're right. But that was after the fact of all the things that you said that were hurtful. Yeah. I didn't forget a word you said, bro. I didn't. And I protected my kids from that. You know what I'm saying? Because
and you even protecting him by not showing the kids how he really is.
But my other brothers, man, they never talked down. But then I started seeing, when I went and visited one of my brothers in Houston, he told me a whole, I was like, what? He had put hands on Pops. Wow. Damn. Just out of control, disrespect.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Spirit. So with that being said, though, we're in a good place now. Mm-hmm. But it had to go there for me to even have that much of a relationship with him. Right. Even when I was drinking and kicking it, I was never that person towards my family. Yeah. You dig what I'm saying? I'd be quiet or cutting it. Yeah. But I wasn't, and I think a lot of that was guilt on his part from not just being the dad and the father he could have been to all of us, and a lot of his past. You see what I'm saying?
Very accurate.
It comes out. It comes out, man. It comes out. I think that's what straight it was. Up. And because when someone cries and all that, that's a form of them, the expressions. Even if they don't say it, they're saying it with those emotions.
Most definitely.
And that's how I deal with it. And guess what? I'm good with it now. Yeah. I don't feel no way about it. I don't really talk. He'll text. I'll respond. He calls. I just and that one episode was probably about 9 years ago. Man, I just kept it like it was. Yeah. He comes to town, I'll kick it with him.
Yeah.
I'll hang out. If I'm in California, I'll pull up on them. Yeah,
Yeah.
all that.
Yeah.
But
Do your part, T.
yeah,
Jones.
yeah, no,
Straight up.
But that's just how I'm good with that arrangement
Mm-hmm.
because you made it that way.
Straight up.
That's real.
What about you, J-Bo? How was your relationship? Or how is or was?
Man, so my pops, man, first of all, man, I grew up with my pops. I literally grew up with him because him and my mom, they had me fresh out of high school.
Mm.
So, you know what I'm saying?
School, I was a high school
fresh out of school, you know what I'm saying?
Literally growing up together.
Yeah, and so, you know, Big John, man, my pops coming from the hood, Butler Projects, you know what I'm saying? Southside, Fort Worth, Texas. Like, you know everybody, man. Everything is accessible. So of course he started hustling. You know, man, like you say, my pops was my superhero. You know what I'm saying? But man, I would see inconsistencies, man, and just things that you know, like damn, man, even at a young age, like man, I wouldn't do that. I'm not gonna do that with my son. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if it was just the hustler's life he was living, you know, and the hustle and bustle of it. But, you know, man, my pops would be coming up to the school, asking me what shoes I want one week, in jail the next 2 months or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
That's the life he led.
Right.
That's the hustler's ambition. That's the life.
Right.
It paints inconsistencies.
Most definitely.
Why do you think women get so frustrated with the street guy? Yeah. Especially if when you start off, you wasn't the street guy.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I didn't sign up for this.
Man.
Because street guys don't be there for their families consistently. And you being young and recognizing that tells me a lot. You're like, you know what?
Yeah.
Noted. Because we all think, when I have my own kids, I don't want to do none of that.
Right. Right. And so, man, just like I say, just being the exception on everything, man. My grandfather, my daddy's dad, man, Big Bang Hank. Worked at gym, retired after 48 years. Man, he was trying to make it to 50, but had that congestive heart failure surgery. Straight up, man. He tell me stories about when he was working. He started out working for like 35 cents or some shit like that. Crazy shit. 35 cents. But man, this man would come to the projects, man. Because at the time, my mom, when they split, they was living in, my mom was staying in Stop 6. So when my papa would drive that pretty white DeVille lack through the projects, come pick me and my little sister up. My grandmother was the mother of the church, so even when my pops wasn't around, they had hands on us. You know what I'm saying? We was there.
It takes a village.
And that's in good hands. Real talk. And my mama the only girl out of 5 brothers, so I spend time with all my uncles.
All your uncles, yeah.
But you know, just like any typical boy, I mean, where the fuck is Pops at, man? You know what I'm saying?
You know what? We knew. Because that's what my uncle was. I love my uncle to death, man. My mom loved him. But that wasn't my pops.
That wasn't Pops, T. Jones.
But I appreciated it.
Yeah.
But I was like, I go outside and they playing the ball with their pops.
Yeah.
I ain't got that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You feel it when you young.
Right. And so, man, Pops end up coming home. You know, he ended up getting remarried, man. I had a beautiful stepmother, man. God bless her soul. My stepmom, Raynette, he got married, but then Pops just being the street nigga that he became, fucking up again, you know what I'm saying, went back to jail. My stepmom was taking us down to go visit him and shit. Like, man, you know, it was one point in time I was kind of, you know, being a teenager, bumping heads with my mom, with my granny and shit. And, you know, he'll call and try to tell me something like, man, you can't.
You said tell me nothing?
Can't tell
Where
me
are
shit.
You calling me from to tell me anything?
If you was here, nigga, half of this shit wouldn't be going on, I believe. So how do you find the time to, you know, try to criticize me, man, or chastise me? But, man, you know, one thing about it, like you were saying, so, you know, with being hurt by your pops, man, at a point you got to let that go. You got to let that go. Because now, man, my pops been, man, he was locked up. We had a falling out before Kingsley was born, my son. And so, man, you know, he didn't get to see him being born. He, you know, he wasn't there, man, but he would write me. And, man, that's some just softened my heart, man. I wrote him like, hey, man, your grandson, man, he gonna be here. You know, I wish you was here. I miss you, man. That must have triggered something, man, because when he came home, he been the ultimate pop-out, man.
How long?
That was 2015.
Having grandchildren.
Okay, How long did he do that second stretch?
That second stretch, man, Pops was gone at least 2 years, man.
Oh, 2? Okay.
Yeah, he was gone about 2 years, man.
I mean, not to be funny, but a lot in prison terms, cats be like, they're knocked off a quick 2. But see, 2 years to a family is a long ass time.
Yeah, man.
You can say that in the street
months,
that's me without a pop for that long.
That's 24 mortgage payment.
And that's
shit.
But that's a you know what I'm saying? That's in and out, man. Most of my childhood life to damn near my adult life, my pops being in and out. But like I say, now, man, the ultimate papa. Show up at all the games, all my nephews' games. Pay money for my niece to go to college. You know what I'm saying? Like helping her.
You know what he's doing, right?
Yeah.
He's making it right. And
Yeah.
To him, that's his payback and apology without talking. That's action speaking louder than anything. You ain't got to say nothing because guess what?
Straight up.
Now he feels that I've made amends with everything that I put my son through. I'm going to be here for my grandbaby, or whatever the case may be. I respect it.
And man, what's funny about that, man, is one day, man, I was at the barbershop. We was having we were just sitting out there smoking and shit. It was Father's Day weekend. And man, I just told all the guys, man, hey, happy Father's Day, man. And it's ranging from the old heads to the young bulls to, you know what I'm saying, like all that. And so, because the barbershop gonna bring everybody together, had to, man. So one young guy, man, he walked by and just heard the conversation. And he stopped, man, and he wasn't saying nothing, but, he ended up chiming in just like, man, I ain't talked to my pops in like 5 years. He like, and the crazy part about it is I see him. He like, but I don't feel nothing negative towards him. And one of the old heads was telling him like, look, man, my daughter, my only girl, literally, man, held this grudge against me, man, until she was able to just throw that shit to the side, let me be a granddaddy. Yeah. And he like, man, I take pride in being the best granddaddy. So, man, sometimes you got to get over that shit, man, if you can. You know what I'm saying? It's not for everybody, T. Jones,
I think the granddaddy thing to a dad that wasn't consistent in their kid's life is a second chance.
Yeah.
They're like, you know what? I fumbled the ball with you. I'm not gonna fumble the ball with them. And guess what? For me, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? Because I felt like I'm not gonna hold a grudge because I did for a long time, but I felt like this though. I don't want to ever get a phone call or something and find out something happened to you or something happened to me and I didn't at least make it right to where we have a lines of communication.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying though? Mm-hmm. So he knows he can text me anytime and I respond. I used to never respond, ever. Now I'm on it. Boom, pop, tell him I love him, the whole everything. I just wanted to make that okay because I don't feel like, even if I don't rock with you, I can make amends with you and be okay, but I don't rock with you. But I let it be known. You know what I'm saying? I'm over that.
What Pac say, man, when Pops died, man, my feelings wouldn't let me feel for a stranger.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, you know what I'm saying?
It happens like that sometimes, man. So, D, you up next, brother.
Oh,
was you finished with your story?
Yeah, no, man, that was it, man. Pops, man, hey, man, me and Pops is like brothers.
That's
now,
good.
Man.
That's good.
I send them nudes of the chicks I get and everything, man. Like it's man, straight up, man. We done you gotta take
making up for lost time sometimes. Does it?
Nah, man, it's actually at that point, T. Jones, where now, man, it's actually a great dynamic between me and Pops, man. It's a great dynamic, man. What's up, Kim Folk?
How you doing? What up, everybody?
How you doing?
It's good.
Oh, okay.
Man.
I'm lost, bro.
Yeah, hey.
I see. I'm like, okay, we got a pimp in the house.
this nigga even worse with time than I am. Like, God damn, bro.
I mean, I'm blown. I'm looking at D. D looking at me. I'm like, no, you're gonna give me some clarity. He like,
yeah, man. This is my little cousin E, man.
Your cousin.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying?
What's up, man?
You gonna always be little cousin
me. I'm T. Jones.
What's coming?
Happy birthday, man.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate
it, bro.
Okay. I didn't know, bro.
Yeah. So they gonna talk about getting the show and stuff.
Okay, cool.
Afterwards. Yeah.
Okay, so E, since you in here, D, is it fair to ask him the question too, or is he just kind of a bystander?
It's on E if he want to talk. Shit.
So
it's another brother to the show.
Pretty much, man. What T. Jones? Just give him a rundown on what it was. he got a different perspective on that too.
He got to
You
get
know
the
what
right
I'm
because he
saying?
got the wording now. So
Yeah.
So right now we're talking about grown men that have daddy issues right now. So we haven't even really dived into the conversation yet. We've just been discussing our relationship with our fathers growing up. So if you want to chime in on it, you welcome. These two just shared theirs. I was about to go, but if you want to go,
Oh, you go first.
oh,
I mean, if you want to, you can. If you don't,
Yeah,
if
I
you
don't
just wanna
mind
watch.
going. Just
go ahead, brother.
Yeah, don't be shy.
Okay.
So how was you
Yeah.
growing up with your relationship with your pops?
I'm like a second version of my pops. My pops was always in my life.
Yeah.
I'm a junior.
Big E.
I was a daddy's boy. I was always with him as a kid.
Oh, you got the good life.
Hey, my pops, my mama, all us, man, so this is my granny, my mama's mama is his granny's, his mama's mama's sister. So that's how we cousins.
Our grannies are sisters.
Yeah.
Our mamas are first cousins. We third cousins.
Yeah. And so, hey, all our parents and stuff, and they grew up in the projects. So yeah, this nigga daddy was the fashionable one in the project. Biggie.
I can tell.
Yeah, Biggie. Yeah.
I can tell. So you and him thick as thieves.
Yeah, we not as close as we used to be as I got older, but we still got a great relationship.
Okay. See, that's one thing I like about when you have a different amount of guests. Everybody has a different story.
Yeah.
Mine so far, I feel like was the worst. Yours bounced out. His is the best. Now we got to see because I've never heard D ever talk about his.
And that's true. I've never heard this nigga talk about
I didn't
his
know the
dad.
nigga had that. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I'm just being real about it. So D, what was your relationship like coming up?
Coming out the country,
I was
D.
sitting up here listening to J-Bo, and I didn't realize how much we had in common. I'm a second, Derek the second.
Yeah.
And my mom and daddy had me young, you know what I'm saying? They were 16 and 19 when I popped out. So pretty much I was raised by my grandparents, you know what I'm saying? Pops was there. But it was one of those things where he would come pick me up on the weekends and I would go to grandma's house, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Scoop you up and go have fun.
Yeah.
So it was like he was there, but like growing up, showing me like affection and calling and check on me and stuff like he ain't do none of that. You know what I'm saying?
Now, how many kids were there together that he had?
3.
Just 3.
Well, we had 4. One of my brothers passed when he was a baby, but it was 4 boys. It's 3 of us now.
All with your mom.
Well, no, only me and my mama. He only had me with my mother.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, he was married.
Okay.
Because the other ones I mentioned were all halves too.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, they had me at 16 and 19. So later on, he got married.
Okay, gotcha.
And then he had my 2 younger brothers.
So where would you, this feels good interviewing his ass.
Yeah.
Where would you say that you and him are today, relationship?
Oh, I mean, we cool.
Right.
He'll call me on his way to Oklahoma. What up, son? I'm finna go. You want to join me or whatnot? Ain't no animosity to him. I understood him more when I grew up.
That's what I was going to ask next. As you got older.
Had my own kids because I seen he was working. Nigga had 2 jobs. You know what I'm saying? He was a pastor of a church and he worked like communities in school and shit like that.
Yeah.
So,
I think a lot of times with everybody at this table, even you with the good thing, as you get older and mature, you start understanding why things happen or why they do what they do, good or bad.
Right.
You start saying, oh, I get it. Like with my own son, I would never dog his mom out to him.
Right.
Because I kept saying this. When he gets older,
he'll see for
he's
himself.
going to see for himself. And she doesn't, what's that mean? You know what it means. And you dread that day. And when I got that letter that he wrote me, front and back, it was everything. He was like, and I respect him because he never talks bad about her. And he did in the letter. He just said, now I see why a lot of things were how they were. Yeah. And why you did some of the things you had to do. And I want to thank you for it. And you can't beat that feeling because you're like, man, the hell I went through.
Because I had that same animosity as a teen. You know what I'm saying? In high school, everybody parents up in the stands watching us play football and running
Yeah.
track meets and whatnot. Your pop's not there. You know what I'm saying? He had to work.
Yeah.
So I'm like, damn,
I mean,
everybody else daddy here. Why
Yeah.
my daddy
Yeah.
ain't there?
That's
Yeah.
more prevalent now than
Mhm.
ever. Because when I talk to some of my partners, they be like, man, you go to the football games, it's a lot of kids whose parents should be having to work.
Mhm.
So they may have like their sister come or a cousin come, and I'd be like, how they feel about it? I mean, they feel away, but they understand. But
True.
most of these parents, we talk about it, working 2 jobs.
Straight
Yeah.
up.
You know, got that morning gig and you got to hit that
Yeah.
night gig, and it's like, okay, well, I can come to the game, but the lights may be out. No,
That's what I was gonna say, man.
You gotta start
Yeah.
looking at it from that.
Yeah.
A lot of times, kids don't look at the economic part of that. You know what I'm saying? And they get older and say, "Damn, my mom worked her ass off, but my dad
Right.
worked his ass
So
off."
you stepping into the question too that I had. The question I wrote was, how do you think your relationship with your father has affected the relationship that you have now with your own kids? How do you think that?
I had a checklist, and it just ain't nothing you got to write
You
down.
got kids? E?
No, I'm not kidding.
Oh, okay.
He don't look like he got kids.
Yeah.
Hey, good skin. But no, real talk. These are notes you have to write down. These are mental notes. This is easy.
Yeah.
The do's and don'ts. And one thing about me, regardless of what I ever did, party wise, drinking, smoking, whatever,
Yeah.
never did it around them. It never spilled over into the anger of whatnot. If even with my frustrations and stuff, I hide all of that from them. See, now they're old enough to be like, what's wrong with Pops? See, they ain't
Oh,
kids
yeah.
no more. They
Oh,
ain't
yeah.
kids no more.
Yeah.
Their brother might be like, what's on Dad's mind?
Mm-hmm.
But those are things that I always made sure to shield them from. Not to make it a perfect world or nothing, though,
Right.
but just to take notes, even with my stepfather. Liquor. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And that's the reason why I didn't start drinking until I was like 20. You know what I'm saying? That it affected me to that
They
point.
kill
To
me every time you say
To
that.
that
Bro,
point, yeah.
I had every reason to not.
Yeah,
you
I
know,
was the
real talk.
same way,
He
T. John.
killed
Like,
me.
shit,
That
I
was
the
something
same way.
that
That's why I didn't start drinking until I was 20.
Real talk.
Yeah.
I would see things and be like, well, you know what? If
Yeah.
that makes you act like that, I
Right.
don't be part of that.
Right.
But
Yeah.
20 is the funny part about it.
Right before the legal.
Hey, I'm gonna start.
That's why I didn't start till I was 20.
Well, but you know what I mean. In middle school,
Yeah.
they drinking the Mad Dog 2020 and the Night Train
Yeah.
and all that. I wasn't touching none of that, bro. Because
Right,
first of all,
man.
the taste of it was horrible. I hated the way
Man, that
alcohol
shit was
tasted.
horrible,
I didn't
man.
care if it was at Boone's Farm and all that. I'd get a little.
Mhm.
How do y'all drink
Still
this?
till now.
Yeah. But
It is.
to me, it really made me, because the things that my pops was going through, and I'm not even putting his business. It was bad.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
I never would have even got to that level of bad for what
Your
he
pops
was going.
was right around the crack era.
Hey, I ain't gotta say no more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So with that
that's
being
real.
said, though, I mean, he's rebounded and he's good now.
Yeah.
But then, and that's why I look at certain people that brag about that. And I'm like, man, the money was good, but do you know what you did to your community? You know,
Yeah.
your family suffered from that. But that's a whole other story.
Yeah.
Yeah, that definitely is.
Definitely made me better.
Yeah, man.
What about you, J-Bo? How do you handle Kingsley different?
Man, so, man, just period, man. I had already knew, man. Not only that I wanted to be a pops, but I knew I was gonna be a dope ass dad. I couldn't wait. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to think, I'm the oldest on both sides, like my mama's side and my pop side. So I raised a lot of my little cousins. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much. So, man, you know what I'm saying? If I could enjoy my little cousins and shit, like, they accolades and accomplishments, man, it's just like, damn, you know what I'm saying? My own child, I couldn't wait. And at that, T. Jones.
Not to say,
Straight up. But, man, I ain't never been more happy to see another pair of nuts in my life. When I found out it was a boy, yeah, pause, but yeah, that's my boy, man, my boy. But, man, yeah, with Kingsley, man, you know, I'm so involved. Field trips, coming up to the school, eating lunch, coaching them in sports, basketball, football. It's like, you know, I still try to keep him mindful of, man, you know, if daddy can't come to one thing, don't throw no damn fit, man, because how many times we come to practice and we don't know who the hell this kid parents is. We ain't never seen this little dude, daddy or mama, like, and I'm here and the first field day I miss, your teacher calling me, telling me that you upset and you, like, dude, don't be that little spoiled brat. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that.
That you are.
Yeah.
That goes to show everybody, your ass be there.
Yeah.
If he's having a fit, that tells me, man, you've been consistent.
Yeah.
He's spoiled. You're doing an amazing job.
Yeah, I appreciate
because
that,
some
bro.
kids, they don't show. They be like,
Real,
you know, they're accustomed to
So
it.
that was me,
can
T.
we
Jones.
dispel
Shit,
this
that was
myth
me.
right now that black men don't mess with their kids? Because I don't know these cats that they talking about, bro. I know all of my grandpas. You dig me?
Real talk.
My grandpa.
That was a myth.
Yeah, you feel me? Like
That's a way to knock us. That's what it is.
But you know, that's the joke, T. Jones, on all the movies and all the, you know what I'm
black
saying?
men just have kids and run off. I don't know no dude.
What they say? What's the difference?
Off,
what's the difference between a black daddy and a large pizza? And they say one can feed a family of 4.
Damn.
Yeah.
You know what though? They stick us with baby mamas like we invented them. You know what I'm saying? The baby mama, when you think baby mama, it's a black thing. Right or wrong.
Straight up.
And what pissed me off was, and here come these ignorant asses making songs about it, glorifying it.
It just
didn't help. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're glorifying exactly what they're saying about us, you asshole.
Real
and the
talk.
labels are loving it. Hey, yeah, let's go and put that out there because that's what we think about you.
If
anyway.
you do the statistics.
But what they won't do, they won't glorify when you are daddy. They won't glorify.
Yeah, that shit goes
if you look at a lot
unsung.
of shows on television, they make sure it's always a daddy missing. If you look at it, it's the mom with the 2 kids, and if the daddy is on there, they're not under the same roof. And that's and it's just a depiction that is stuck with us. And you know,
real talk.
It's the same thing almost with the Snoop thing, with how in 2017 Snoop was saying, "Any of you jigaboo, yes, massa." For Trump,
and now he performs
for Trump. You know what I'm saying?
What they say, that didn't age well
at all.
That didn't age well.
So, when you do decide to have kids, man, is there anything differently that you want to do?
Oh, hell yeah. The subject tonight is daddy issues, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like anybody that got a relationship with their dad, good or bad, we still got daddy issues.
That's how we started with that, bro.
No matter how perfect it's just like I got daddy issues. Like first and foremost, my dad is not my support system. Like I feel like my dad is devil advocate. My mom is the dream killer. For real.
He always say that.
What you say? Just because in the house,
that
don't mean.
If I tell my mom something, I'm gonna do this, she gonna kill it.
Find a reason why it ain't gonna work.
Huh?
Find a reason why it's not gonna work.
Yeah, so like I got a good relationship with my dad, but as far as me getting advice or needing some support system from somebody, it's not my mom or my dad. They're not gonna be the first one I call.
That's sad, man, because they supposed to be the first.
That's true.
I tell you, you can do anything you want to do before your school teacher. Your parents tell you, hey, you know what? You can be anything you want to be.
Whatever.
That's right, man. Hey, man,
that's crazy.
You see how cool, player, laid back is. Big E, his daddy, which I love Big E, man. That is my nigga. Big E like to hit that bottle too. But he told me, he said, Jonathan, man, I had to put some hands on my son, man. I had to, like, little Eric, like, yeah, man. I'm like, how the hell did that come about? You know what I'm saying? And I asked E, and just as cool as he is, he's like, yeah, bro, I damn near had to beat my daddy ass. And that fucked me up, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, damn, man, you know, my pops ain't never even put his hands on me before. You know what I'm saying? Although he was in and out the house. Never put his hands on me.
I didn't even know that.
Never, bro. I never got, like, Big John never. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So that surprised me about you and Big E. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but that drives home the point that D said earlier. He said, just because the father's in the home, you know what I'm saying, doesn't mean that it's without its problems and whatnot. Yeah. That's a problem.
That don't solve everything. Just being in the house, that don't solve everything.
That's cool. So you and Pops is good though.
Yeah, I know my dad loves me and he'll do anything for me. Okay. Gotcha. If I'm somewhere in a ditch, he gonna come get me.
Gotcha.
If it costs $20,000 to get me out that ditch, he gonna pay for it. But as far as me needing advice and getting support,
He ain't giving you the easy part. He doing the
no,
hard part.
my
I'm
mom,
gonna drop out this
I'm
20 text
always
for you
call
some
my
advice.
Aunt Karen or this man.
Yeah.
They my support system and my uncle.
So that's what you're gonna do different with your own kids.
Most definitely.
yeah,
like
man.
I'm gonna always support my kid, man.
Make sure,
Yeah.
and like I told them, make sure your kids understand they respect you but not fear you. There's
Yeah.
a difference though. I don't ever want my kids to fear me. You know what I'm saying? And I used to be like, what's wrong with y'all? I said, don't do that. Like you
Yeah.
can come talk to me about anything.
Right.
Especially now that
Right.
you're older, because I know y'all got questions.
Right.
Don't go asking your goofy ass friends.
Yeah.
Ask somebody that's been there because your friends is gonna get you into some shit.
Yeah.
You know what
Why
I'm
the
saying?
hell was our parents so just stumped down on that shit, man? Just making sure you feared them.
Because they get it from our grannies.
It was
Yeah,
it's
man.
generational.
Especially
Yeah.
my granny.
Yeah. Like, man, they were stumped
That's what
down
I'm
on
telling
that
you,
shit.
man.
And that was all started from slavery.
And that was all started from slavery.
Because think about it. In our era, ass whoopings was prevalent.
You goddamn
Was
right.
they not?
Yeah, man.
But now you look at him like they need to be prevalent again. But you'll go to jail for disciplining your kids nowadays.
Yeah.
You look at some of these kids, you're like, shit, they need some of what we used to get.
Damn
I
right.
tell some example like, bro, if you grew up in the 80s, you wouldn't have ass.
You would
I'm serious, bro.
beat that motherfucker
I
off
think you
you.
gotta make these kids tough these days.
Well, there's a fine line with that too, because these kids, hell, they know the laws better than we do.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
hit me if you want. That's 10 to 30.
Real
Like,
talk.
damn, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
And that's crazy because they don't want you touching these kids. They don't want you telling these kids nothing. I be in the grocery stores and hey man, no offense to my Hispanic brothers, bro, them Mexican kids be getting loose. Like this,
Yeah,
this he was breaking ass on the
man.
floor.
Get
He couldn't get the
loose,
skip.
boy. Yeah.
I'm like, man, you would've got snatched up.
Fuck
Bro.
that.
Hey, I be ready to applaud white people when I see them whooping their kids' ass somewhere.
That's a rarity, bro.
That's a rarity. Whoop his ass.
But
Kick
you
Sally
will
ass.
never, you will see a unicorn before you see
Yeah.
a Hispanic whoop their kid. And I asked my partner I used to work with, I said, why don't you ever hit your kids, man? They was like, that's abuse, man. You ain't hit my kid. I be like, this dude's throwing food at you.
Right. Yeah, man.
It's different, bro.
Yeah.
Culturally, it's different because I'm like, bro, I would have had a head listen, bro.
Real talk. And see, I know Kingsley don't necessarily fear me, but he know not to fuck with me, man.
That's what I'm saying, though.
Yeah.
Kids know
Yeah.
I can play with them.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Know
Yeah.
where the line is.
Kids, I'm talking about, there's no line.
There's
They
no
jumped over this,
line.
They done drew a new one and jumped over that one.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
Yeah.
and you could tell the parents was embarrassed. And the cashier, she looked at me, she was like, that's what I know. Ain't no way. He embarrassed them. She was turning red and stuff, and I was like, man, this dude done fell out, spazzed,
Man.
said no, spit on the floor. Man, I'm like,
Man, the time we came up, you had to worry about getting a few ass whoopings.
you get dusted off in public.
Goddamn right, man.
Playing them clothes racks and shit in them stores.
Boy. Man, my mama had one move, boy. She'll get right up under a nigga like armpit, pinch, and twist that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Ain't got no more issues out of me,
Yeah,
man.
straight up.
Straight up.
That's a whole nother show.
Yeah, straight up.
That's one thing about these shows we do. They always lead into other subject matters, man. And what I hate is that we never fully get the goddamn show off. Like we'll get to the surface, and you look up and it's like, why time don't blow like this at work?
Real talk.
Hours don't blow like this, but when you at work though.
But when you chopping game, man, with brothers, man, you know what I'm saying, and learning things, and you know what I'm saying, comparing notes, man, you know.
You see how different and similar you are all in one.
Yeah, straight up, man. And this is very much needed, man.
This is therapy.
It's therapeutic. It's therapeutic,
It's some
T.
people out there
Jones,
right
straight
now
up.
that if we brought them on this show, they'd be like, man, can I come back? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because some people really don't have any, like he just said though. Some people, they got to go outside the structure of home to talk to people. You got parents right there. You should be able to go and talk to your folks. And some people got to reach outside, and some people you talking to, they ain't the people you need to talk to. Because they're going to give you the advice of what they would do, opposed to saying, what's your situation and let me assess it.
Yeah.
So I got one last question before we get up out of here.
15-minute show, man.
Do you think that they could be solved in father's absences? So what I'm saying is when we come across these daddy issues, sometimes the daddy don't want to have no parts of the relationship. So do you think it's possible to solve daddy issues even if the father doesn't want to be involved in resolving the issue?
I would say this for me. If that's the case, then I'm gonna treat it just like a relationship with a woman. I'll fix it on my own end.
Yeah.
You go your own way. And this does come with time. This does come with experience. And it comes with maturity. You can't do that when you're 12, 13. It's not gonna work.
Straight up.
I will treat you just like I would treat somebody I was with. If that's what we're gonna do, that's what we're gonna do. If that's the bed you want to make and sleep in it, but I'm not. That doesn't come without me trying.
Yeah.
After I'm all tried out, I'm done, man. What they say? I wash my hands. I'm done with it. But at least I know I gave every bit of effort to resolve it. But guess what?
You did your part.
Old adage says you can take the horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
Can't make them
So
drink.
if it's like that, then love you, XYZ, and I'm good on mine. And,
Yeah.
But if you ever want to revisit that, I'm open to that.
Yeah.
But until then, I'm out.
So,
And that's healthy, T. Jones. That's just being a healthy man too, man. Man, say it again, bro. What was?
Oh, I was saying, can the daddy issue, be resolved if the pops don't want to be, if he don't want to have no part of resolving whatever the issue is? So I was going to ask E. It sounded like E's issue was having a support system, so he fixed the issue by going outsource. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Do you think that any issue that we have with our father, can it be resolved even if the pop's not included in it?
Of course, man. When you have so many different male figures ranging in age, you know, man, like, and you can get game from everywhere. You can get game from somebody younger than you. You know what I'm saying? And then when you're able to do this, man, and network and converse with people, and you know, you can see they come from similar backgrounds and how they turned out and handle some things, like, you know, man, it helps you bridge the gap on some of those things. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, like we was talking one show, man, like, shit, you know what not to do. You know what I'm saying? You know what not to do. You have a prime example of what not the fuck to do because you either didn't have this or shit, you got treated like this or whatever the case is. So I believe, yeah, it can be resolved, man. If you can heal yourself, man, if you can heal yourself in a healthy way. You know what I'm saying?
Like that. Healthy way.
In a healthy way.
I disagree. Like, I feel like what J-Bo's saying is coping with it. Like, when your father's not there, it's kind of like,
I see what you're saying.
It's kind of like a relative dying, like you grieving over it. Like, even though he alive, if you ain't got a relationship with your father and you want one, you still gonna grieve over it. Yeah. Like he died. That's how I feel.
But what J-Bo was saying was, I can't force him. He didn't want
right.
that.
Absolutely.
And that's the danger of shutting out. That's why a lot of gang members are gang members, because they didn't have that family structure, so they went to the streets for answers.
Right.
And then that family took them in, and now you're wondering why your kid's out here banging because he didn't have this structure. That's not always the case.
Right.
But you can push your kids into the wrong people to get that advice sometimes.
Yeah.
But I respect that you didn't agree. I get it because I see your side of it as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes that can be dangerous. Sometimes you push your kid to the absolute wrong person. He's like,
most definitely, man.
You wasn't there, and I went to Unc. Shit, Unc strung out and doing this and had me in whole houses and woo. And next thing you know, you're a mirror image of your Unc.
That's what Charleston White talk about, man. His daddy wasn't there. His mama brother was there, but his mama brother was a pimp, teaching him how to pimp hoes and everything at a young age, which is cool to us at that time. But you already know, you know what I'm saying.
Shout out Charleston, man. He used to have a show on VFW Radio. Before he was the Charleston.
Right.
The only thing I always say about Charleston, I used to always tell him, I said, man, it's just the way you deliver the message, bro. You be on it. Yeah. It's just the way you deliver it. He was like, that's a part of it, though. I didn't know what he meant until I get what he meant.
Yeah, right.
Sometimes that's for certain people. I'm not that dude, but shit.
That's how you gain his followers.
Facts.
Yeah, I fuck with him, man.
Facts.
I do.
I can dig it. Well, for me, with my daddy issues, you know, my issue was I was never shown love, affection, nothing like that. He told me he loved me, you know, and
you
of
tell
course,
somebody you show them is different.
and of course, I believed it. But as far as resolving my issues, I now try to like show my kids affection. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for me because I don't know how to.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure it out, but that's what I learned from it. You know what I mean?
Isn't it weird though, like how you like, I'm a grown man, I know how to do these things, but it really is a complication because your whole life that consumes you of I wasn't shown this affection. Now that I have my own, of course I love them, but goddamn, how do you?
And I got 4 boys, 1 girl. Of course, my daughter, she gonna feel love. That's my girl. But as far as showing my boys, you know what I mean?
Because it's different. It is, to me, it is different when you have a daughter and a son because as a daughter, we trying to protect her off the rip.
Yes, sir.
Ain't no practice, ain't no manual. We know off top. I gotta protect my baby girl.
Nope.
But these hard heads here,
yeah.
Sometimes that can be a little different because you know one of your kids may not be as receptive. You know what I'm talking about? Like he loves you, but he's not as receptive. But you know he loves you, so you're like, I don't
right.
You know what I'm talking about? So I totally dig what D is saying because you have to be shown that sometimes to be able to pass it on as well.
Yeah, man, Kingsley 10, man, I still kiss the hell out of my boy, man. That's my baby. But when I get on his ass, I tell him, yeah, you my only one. You gonna always be my baby, but you ain't a baby. You ain't a baby, nigga. So when I got to put my foot off in your ass, please leave. I'm gonna do that.
But that's for the betterment.
Yeah, for sure, man. For sure.
Well, I'm glad we had this discussion, man. It was very well needed. And
yes, sir.
Shit. 2 weeks, we're going to join here again, and we're going to give a recap about all the fuckery that's been going on over the past year. But, you know, it's bound to be some with our new
show. I'm going to go and carve out some extra time.
Yeah, man.
I don't want to rush that one.
Y'all know how they can spill over, man.
With the new administration inside. But before we get out of here, the person that you should know is Dr. Walter McAfee. I'm sorry, Dr. Walter McAfee. He was the first African American to calculate the speed of the moon. We're still reading The Delectable Negro by Vincent Woodward. And this day in Black history, Sam Cooke was born January 22nd, 1935. Mr. Change gonna come himself. Yeah. Yes, sir. So next time when somebody look at you and they ask, are you your brother's keeper? Look them in their eyes and tell them, yes, I am.
Yes, I am.